Right, while we're waiting for Gail, I'll show you this book. So this is just a little tiny mini that I made from greetings cards. Hi Sandy, hi Alison. And these are notelets, and when I say notelets, they're just blank cards basically. So I had, I don't know how many I had, probably about 8 I think I used. Oh, hi Larissa, hi Cindy. I think I must have used about 8 of these. There's no point in me writing a tutorial because all I'm going to do is just show you a couple of things that you can do to make these into a book, if that makes sense, because they're all going to be different sizes. They're all going to be completely different, but I'm going to let you into a few secrets now. So for my cover, I added a little bit of acetate because I like acetate, even though it looks pretty pants on the back. But I'll show you how I attach that at the back of the book. So I added some acetate just for some interest. And then the cards are attached in all sorts of different ways to each other. So for example, this first page, it just opens, it's just a card. So nice and easy. Sorry, Martha, am I upsetting you? This page, oh, hang on, she's on the move. This page has a little tuck pocket there, and I'm going to show you how we're going to make that out of cards. This page opens up into 3 bits. I'm going to show you how to attach your cards to make that bit. This is just two pages that open up, but here I've attached 2 cards together so that I've got a little tuck pocket in between the 2 cards. Another just plain ordinary double-sided page. Here I just added in, oh, just for interest, you know, a paper bag that I could add a few cutter parts in, just to show you the sorts of things that you can add to. And then this was just another folded pocket, but I'll show you a folded page even, but I'll show you how I did that. And then another tuck pocket at the back, which was made in exactly the same way as the one before. So I'm not going to do it in any particular order. I'm just going to show you a few ways that you can use these sorts of cards to make a book. Now, I'm using notelets, like I said, they're just plain blank cards. Now, I got these off Amazon, which is where I got the seaside ones that I used. So these ones, for example, you can see here, these were seaside shell ones that I used. But these are just a whole, so these just came off Amazon. These are just cards that I just grabbed. These are quite good value actually. These were only, I can't remember how much they were, but there's 36 cards in here, so there's room to make a whole load of books. You can make and put in as many as you like. If you just want to use 4, you could use, you know, 4. If you want to use 14, you can use 14. It might be a bit thick, but you can do that. Also, I see a lot on pages, people asking about how they can maybe store birthday cards that they've saved, that sort of thing. You could absolutely save birthday cards, Christmas cards to make a book like this. Now, it doesn't actually matter that much if they're not all the same size, because the techniques that I'm going to show you, you can use. And if they're a similar size, that's great. If they're not, you'll just have to use them so that there's like a difference in size. It's not going to matter, it's all going to be interesting however you use it. But if you know, like want to keep all of the cards that you've been given, say for a, I don't know, 50th birthday or something like that, then this is one way that you could use them. You could use them in a book, and you could put photos in there as well, so that you've got your cards and your photos from that birthday or whatever all together. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just choose 8 of my cards. So 1, 2, 3, 4, what have I got? 5, 6, and I like those, so I'm going to have 2 more of those, I think. No, I'm not actually. I'm going to have, right, so let me just see how many I've got. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And what I did was I looked for some patterned papers that I thought would be that would go with these. And when I got them, I thought, well, they're quite, I was going to make an album, a kids album, because they're quite childlike in their design, but I've changed my mind a little bit. But I looked for some papers that I thought would go, and I came up with these that I didn't even realise I had in my stash, which is terrible, but these actually go quite well. And a lot of these are Chamel's box of crayons, and they seem to fit the colours really, really well. They are all quite similar. So I thought that was what I was going to use. Now, if you've got papers, now I can't, who's got the absolutely beautiful fairy papers? Because they're so beautiful on their own, it seemed like an idea to maybe just use a plain cardstock to decorate. But like these ones that I had writing all over the back, like the manufacturer's stamp and stuff, so I wanted to cover it up. You know, in the way that I've cut things out and matted, it's good to have sort of like a secondary, you know, sort of like pattern papers that you can add to it. All adds interest to the book. So you don't have to follow mine completely, but I'm going to show you how I put mine together. So first page, and we'll do the acetate last, first page is just a card. So I need to decide which card I'm going to have on my front cover, and I'm going to have that card. Hi Anne. Oh, it is your birthday next week. Oh, I forgot. What do you want?
Of course.
Oh my God. It's my daughter's 21st tomorrow, so I've been kind of focusing on that. I'm going to be in so much trouble now. I arranged to have a really big operation on Mark's birthday because I'd forgotten what day it was. I knew it was, I recognised the date, but I couldn't figure out why. Anyway.
This has gone back a few years.
Yeah, it's going back a few years. So listen, has anybody found Gail yet? Have we found her?
No, I've not.
Have you had a look in the group?
Have
you sent her a message?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're waiting for them.
Right. So this is the first page. Gosh, that was really hard, wasn't it? So I'm going to turn that over here. And now you see I've got this little pocket. So I'm going to choose what I want for my next page. And I'm going to go for something completely different. So I'm going to go for that one. No, I'm not. I'm going to go for that one because it is sufficiently different. So to make my pocket that goes on here, I'm going to open up this card. So it's going to sit like that, but I'm going to cut that bit off. Now I have no measurements for you because I eyeballed all of this, and everybody's cards are going to be a different size. So this card measures, oh, interesting, it's the same size as a photo. It's roughly 4 by, well, it's not 6, yeah, 4 by 6. So I'm going to cut that off at 2 inches. Okay, so if I just cut it and then I'll show you. So I've just cut that bit of my card off. Hi Natalie. So that I've got that. Okay, and all I'm going to do is attach that there, which will get me 2 pages. So we're not going to have the flaps and things to fold and to burnish. Hi Celia, you haven't missed anything, darling. All I've done is cut 2 inches off the back of one of my cards.
And we spent the rest of the time waiting for Gail.
And we're looking for Gail because she's disappeared.
Oh, yeah.
And also we've been talking about cats because Martha was here. So now on this bit of card that I've cut, all that I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a bead of glue around the edge of my card like that. And so the top of the pocket hasn't got any glue on it. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to attach it to the other card and glue it down. Now, if you're using greetings cards, they are likely to be a little bit slippy because of what they're made out of. So do bear that in mind when you're gluing down, okay? So now I've got the front of my book. I'm going to open that up and we'll decorate this in a bit so that it'll, you know, make better sense. And then my next page because I've now got 3 pages in my book, has got a little pocket. Okay, I Beth nothing really, I'm just cutting up bits of card. Easy as that. Okay, so that is this bit here. This page is in 3 bits. Now, as you can see, that is the outside of a card, the pattern bit of the card. This is also the pattern bit of the card, and so's that. So now I've got to try and remember how I did that. So I'm going to choose 3 more bits of card. So those 2, I've got my front, I've got a plain page, I've got a page with the pocket, and I've got a page with a design on. Now, that page is going to attach on there. And the way that I did that was I took some patterned paper, and this is just the piece of off-cut card from earlier. This isn't the way that I'm going to do it. I'm just going to show you roughly so that you can work out what we're doing. I took a piece of paper, folded it in half, and then glued it on like that. It was as simple as that. Okay, but we've got this bit as well. So now, because I want them to be similar colourways, I'm going to take this card and I'm going to just attach that in there. Okay, so that is just glued onto there like that. I hope this is kind of making sense to you.
Oh yeah.
All right, so I'm just going to put some glue on that bit of card there. And, you know, bear in mind that you could make this as a pocket. And I'm going to glue those up to that fold mark there, so that I've got my flap. Okay, like this one here. Okay, so that's another page. So what I need to do now is attach this to there. So I'm just going to grab some of my pattern paper. Let me just choose one. Those dots might be good. Yeah. And I'm going to cut, I reckon about 1 inch. So if I cut a piece that is 1 inch by 6 inches, I might be better with my other trimmer actually. Hang on. Unfortunately, the blade is rubbish on this at the moment because it's gone blunt and I haven't got any more. So I'm going to cut a piece that is 1 inch by 6 inches, and this is going to be my connector piece. Okay. And I'm just going to fold that in half. You can score it if you want to. It's up to you. I'm just going to fold it in half like that. Just grab my bone folder. I'm just going to burnish that so that I get a good crease. And now, let's just check it's the right length. I'm going to glue on one side and attach that right to the edge of that card there to form a flap. Get rid of the cat hair. Okay, so I've just attached it. And now I'm going to put some glue on the other side. And I'm going to attach this card, which was the one with the fold over flap that we've just made. Remember to keep your flap open. Let's line that up. And let's glue that on. Okay, so here's the front of my book. I open that up, and at the moment I've got those blank pages. I'm opening up that bit, and I've got my little tuck pocket there. I'm opening it up again, and I've got a 3-page spread with that flap. Is this making sense to everybody? It really is easy. Okay. So here on this page, I've just got 2 pages open. Okay. And the same on that one. So what I need to do now is choose another card. I'm going to go for this one. And I'm going to glue this to this one. But because I'm leaving a space for this little tuck pocket here, I'm literally just going to put a bead of glue, oops, around the outside of that card. And I'm going to glue that to that one. And obviously you can do these in any order. You can figure out a way to put these together in all sorts of ways. I'm quite sure you can come up with a whole lot more than I've come up with. So there we go. Front page, tuck pocket, that opens up. Now I've got my little page there and a page there with a tuck pocket in between there. Okay, this page I've got 2 notelets opposite each other, so like that. I've still got 6 inches Amazon, Beth. There was, I'm sure, actually Mark might be able to find you a link possibly. He'll have a look in a minute, he's just taking a phone call. But I got these from Amazon, and I got these from Amazon, and there's 36 of them. But I'll get Mark to find you the link. And they weren't much, I think they were a £5. It really wasn't much at all. So I've still got this one left over. So what I'm going to do with that, once again, exactly the same way, I'm going to fold it in half. To make my, there's a name for this. I can't remember what it is. Not a joiner thing. I don't know. I'm sure there's a word. Oh, I'm sure there's a word for it. Connector. Oh, I don't know. I'm not even folding it very well, but it doesn't matter. And now I'm going to attach them together. So I'm going to put some glue on there. Just attach that. Oh, and just like I said, bear in mind that if you're using notelets like this, they're likely to be quite slippy. Hinge, thanks Louise, I knew there was a proper word. They're going to be quite slippy, so just bear that in mind when you're gluing stuff down. And then glue on that part of the hinge. Remember that we want this to open. Hi, is it Myra? Nice to see you here. Puerto Rico. Wow. You are very welcome here. Okay, so you can see underneath here, all I've done is I've just used that hinge there. Hi Gina. A hinge and bracket. Actually, did you know hinge and bracket, they came from not very far away from me. I'm going to show, sorry you non-British people, you might not understand this, and certainly if you're young you won't understand it, but there used to be this comedy duo of blokes back in the 70s, I think, possibly, or the 80s, who were called Hinge and Bracket, and they dressed up as these very posh ladies, and they were quite funny, and they lived in a village called Stockton Trestle. But actually they came from a village not far from where I live called Stockton Trussell. There you go. I'm full of useless information. I'm great at pub quizzes. Hi, Dana. Portland. Gosh, I tell you what, I'm multinational tonight. This is brilliant. Loving this. Okay, so you can see our book is building up now. So once again, front page, pocket, 3 flaps. The only reason I keep doing this is because I don't want it all to stick together. I know you've seen this all before. See, because it's sticking. Ugh. Page with pocket. Opens up to another page and another page. Okay, so this page has got another flap, but it's a bit shorter. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to take one of our other cards and we're just going to cut off, I'm just going to cut off maybe an inch. Which side am I cutting? Yeah. So an inch. Okay. Now this time, what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold that card back on itself. Yes, Ellie, way before your time. Okay, so what I want to do now is I want to attach that as a flap. How did I do this? I can't even remember now. I want to attach that as a flap there. But that's got a pocket. I can't remember how I did it. Oh, yes, I do. Hang on a minute. Did I do it like that or did I do it like that? Oh, no, I did it. I did it like that. I did keep that the right way round. So I'm going to put some glue on there. And I'm going to attach that there. So that that opens up like that. I've got 1 page left, which I'm going to cut down to 2 inches. For my last page. Gosh, you can see how blunt that blade is. Can't wait till I can get some more. And I'm just going to put a little bead of glue around the outside there. And I'm going to make a little tuck pocket. No, Diane, I can't. Oh, Gail! There you are. We've been worried about you. Okay, so I'm going to attach that into the book now so that I've got a little tuck pocket there. Okay? Right, so we are going to put the acetate on the front, but I'm not going to do it just yet because what I want to do before we get that far is I want to just use my papers just to decorate up the insides, just so that you can see the sort of thing that I did. So I know that all of my cards happen to be 6 by 4. Sorry, Diane, you'll have to watch me later. So what I'm going to do, look, this little beauty, she's 21 tomorrow. I can't believe it. Is I'm going to measure and just pop on all of the bits that I want. So are you willing to sit through this with me while we do it together? Right. Let me grab the big guy and I'm going to cut some papers. So let's see what I've got. I just grabbed these out of my stash. I'd even forgotten that I'd got them. Okay, so let's go. Now, my cards are 6 by 4. And when I'm matting, what I did with these was I cut it ever so slightly under. So I cut mine at 3 7/8 by 5 7/8. So 3 7/8 by, oh, this is where it gets fun on this one. By 5 7/8. So it should just fit on like that. Okay, so I'll do this as I go. I'll do both sides as I go. Okay, so that's that. Now I want to cut to go in here. Now I'm going to have to show you a trick when we come to mat this bit here, because we're going to have to do it slightly differently to the way that we usually do it. So let me find some papers. Let's go for, oh, that's nice. Let's go for that one. So I'm going to cut that at 5 7/8 to go on that side. And I know that that's 2 inches, so let me cut that down to 2, or just under 2. It'll be 1 7/8 of an inch. And that'll go there. Now, that I can either, why is that longer? Oh, I never cut it down in the first place. So I can either cut it, normally we slip these underneath, don't we, to make it look professional. So you can either do that, but with this, just bear in mind that it's much harder to do that because we've used the glue round the edge. So you can either do it this way, which is the easy way, which is just to cut that so that it fits and just kind of not slip it underneath, or you have to bodge it. So if you're going to cut it a little bit longer to slip into the pocket, you measure where the pocket is and then cut it round. I'll do that on one of the back ones, okay? So this card, I need one for there. So let's have a look and see what I've got that matches. Actually, that one's quite good. So let's go. Gail's arrived.
Yes, I saw. Hello, Gail.
So that one's going to go in there like that. Okay. Now, this one, I've got 2 plain pages. Oh, I know which one I'm using for that. Where's my cat paper? Got to be done. Okay, so that's going in there. Oh, all stuck together. Oh, was that meant to? No, that one wasn't meant to stick together, was it? Oh dear. Thank goodness for pattern paper. Let's find one to go in there. Actually, I like the back of that. How cute is that? It's a bit too bright though. Let's go for this one.
What paper you use?
Paper's Box of Crayons by Chamel. Oh, thanks, Ellie. Okay, so that'll go in there. We've got those 2 pages there, fine. Now I've got these to do. So let's have a look. What can I use for that? That's rather nice. Oh, they're all rather nice. Let's go for that. Oh, should have done that the other way. They're all going to be out of line now. Here, I'll do it this way. Just bear in mind that when you're cutting stuff, that if you want it all to be in the same line, like that one matches that one matches that one, I'm going to have to do this the other way round. So that will go there. That will match there. And then that one will match there. So those all line up when the page is open. Now I need another 3-inch one for there. Let's go back to that one because I kind of like that. And here on the last page, I've just got to cut. Let's see what I've got. More cats. Oh, I know, I'm going to use this one because I like this one from earlier. So, that's going to go there. That one's going to go there. And the back obviously has one. Okay. Right, I'm going to glue those in. Obviously you can ink the edges if you want to. Didn't line these up before I cut them, which wasn't overly clever of me, I have to say. I can't remember who I was chatting to the other day, but we were talking about Chamel, and I said that she wasn't a designer whose papers that I'd use, because I just kind of thought that they weren't the sort of style that I would use. But I will say, after finding these in my stash, that I was totally and utterly wrong. And I absolutely love these. They're just so bright and colourful. I don't tend to scrap kids particularly, which I think was the reason why I didn't take that much notice before. But these don't have to be for kids at all. They're just totally gorgeous, colourful papers. So, my bad. I have discovered something that I really like today, which makes me happy.
Almost as happy as the smell of that stew.
I'm sure I had those lining up. I did. Yes, it's a good job we haven't got smell-o-vision here, because Mark and I made a vegetable stew earlier on for tomorrow, and it's in the slow cooker at the moment, because we found a local business that delivers fresh produce. Oh my word. Oh, bye bye Dee, I'll see you later. But it smells amazing. Right, let's just line that up there. And you can do all sorts of things and add all sorts of bits in. You could add in bits of paper as flaps. You can add in paper bags. Oops. Ugh. You can add in all sorts of bits. Just use washi tape maybe to... Gail, I do actually, but I'm not sure if I've got the stuff to do it. So I'm going to have to go and have a look later. I usually use a packet mix, which is terrible really, isn't it? No, Diane, not yet. All right, we'll take a photo of it for you so you can see it later. It'll be tomorrow's tea. We made one last week actually, and it was quite amazing, even though I do say so myself. Right. Getting there. Okay, page is all right. Now, obviously, you know, you can add photos into these. That's what I've done. I've used cutter parts to add a bit of interest. And I did grab some that I found in one of my boxes, which I think go with these. I'm not entirely sure. There might be a different, I think they're a different, yeah, they are. They're a different, what's it? But you could use Project Life cards. Nice thing about these papers is there's lots of bits that you can cut out on these as well. So you don't have to have, you know, lots of fancy papers and stuff to make this. You can use what you've got in your stash. And I do like this trend for kind of mixing things up at the moment, whether it's papers or embellishments. And Kerry's a great one for using stamped images on books to make flowers and such like. I think that's really cute, really nice idea. In fact, I might give that a go myself on a future book, because
She's amazed by how little glue you use.
well, you know what, I can use even less glue than this. I've got these absolutely ace little bottles, but the trouble with them is that I keep leaving the lids off, which is entirely my fault. These, I've made a whole book using half of one of these. They are amazing, but you can't leave the pin off for the top, because if you do, it goes all gunky. Trust me. But I love wet glue. I'm not a lover of tape unless it's specific situations. I always use glue. But those little bottles are just amazing. Right. So that's all the papers put in the book. So here we go. Front page, you open it up. I've got space for photographs. I'm using the Sticks 2 Sam. It's great for scrapbookers particularly because it is acid free, pH neutral. There's two sorts of Sticks 2 glue that I use. There's this one, and then there's a cheaper version which is just a general craft PVA. Now the craft PVA takes ever so slightly less time. No, this one doesn't. This one dries a bit quicker. So if you're sort of like doing a structural book and you need it to dry fairly quickly, this is a good one. The other one takes a little bit longer, but they're both really great. And the pin rusting business is use stainless steel pins. Now, Mel's not here tonight. The reason Mel isn't here tonight is because she's finishing off the charms for the 12 by 12 book, but she has got some stainless steel long pins because I've been begging her for ages and ages and ages to make pretty dangly things to go into glue bottles. So watch this space and we can all harass her about it. Although maybe if I stop giving her things to do, she might get on with it. It's all my fault. So you open up, you've got your 2 pages here. We've got a little tuck pocket there. That opens up. Got a page there. Don't forget that we've got our little tuck pocket there that we can put things in. Page there. Little flap. And a little pocket at the back. Okay, now on mine I put a little acetate cover because I thought it was cute. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to cut the acetate for that, although I will say my acetate is absolutely covered in cat hair. I think I'm going to find one that isn't quite so covered in cat hair. Okay, so just a piece of ordinary acetate, and I need to cut it. Now my book is 6x4, so I need to cut it at 6 inches. But I need to wrap it around the book a little bit. So if I just cut it at 6 inches, this is difficult for you to see, I reckon, and I put it on my book like that, I can wrap it all the way around and it fits, but I don't want it to be that long because it makes it a nightmare to attach it to the book. The papers that I used, Sue, were Chamel box of crayons. So I'm just going to cut a little bit off this. So let's see. I'm going to cut it at, you know what, let's go 6 by 6 inches because that's nice and easy. But this is, of course, if you're using the same size cards as me, which was 6 by 4 inch cards. So I'm going to get my bone folder and my, oh, just dropped my cut file on the floor. And I'm going to score this at 4 inches. But obviously it's going to slip everywhere, and you need to just, you know, be aware of what your book measures. Now I'm going to score at 4.5 inches as well. This will be slightly wider than the spine of my book, but it's near enough. It doesn't have to be exact. So now I've got those 2 score marks, and I'm just going to fold them. And this is a bit tricky with acetate. It's a bit of a nightmare to fold, to be honest with you. So excuse my head a minute, because it's going to come into shot. I'm just going to fold that. So I've now got folds in my acetate, so it's got that sort of shape to it. Okay, God, this is absolutely covered in cat hair. So now when I put that on my book, it'll fit. So I've got my plastic acetate cover and it folds around my book. Okay, now attaching acetate to anything is nothing short of a nightmare. So my advice to you is use the red tape. Okay, I haven't got any. It's not been a good week. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use ordinary double-sided tape. I don't recommend this, it's just that's what I've got. And I'm going to stick that right at the edge of this bit of acetate here. Now you can use glossy accents as well. That'll stick it a bit, but I'm just going to use tape for now. So I'm going to stick my acetate on the book like that. Make sure it fits right, and then I'm going to stick it down the back like that. Very, very badly actually. I'm just going to take that off because I've made a right pig's ear of that. Let's try it again. Okay, and like I said, I would thoroughly advise that you use red tape. It would be so much better. But now, to cover up that mess that I've made down there, I'm going to get some of my paper. And I know that that's 6 inches. So let me just cut a piece that is 2 inches by 6 inches. Or actually 1.5 might even be better. I don't know, 1.5. No, let's go for 2. 2 inches by 6 inches. and I'm going to glue that over the top. Oh, cut that slightly too short, like that. So I'm going to put some glossy accents on this side and some wet glue on that side. So wet glue on that side and oh, okay, glossy accents, which bear in mind you're going to have to leave to dry for ages, like hours.
What's the difference between red tape and normal tape?
Red tape is super sticky and super strong. A lot of people use red tape to stick their books together. I personally don't, because I haven't really, oh God, covered in glossy accents. Because I haven't really found a tape that will stick forever. If you're making a book, you're going to want it to stick forever. You're going to put that much work into it, you want it to stick. So I absolutely advocate using wet glue, but I know that doesn't work for everybody. Not everybody likes wet glue the way that I do. But that is why I always use wet glue. So there you go. And then on the back of mine, I just added a little cutter part just to make it kind of interesting. So what have I got here? Might just cut that down a little bit because it's just ever so slightly too wide. And I'm just going to glue that.
Do you use wet glue on photos?
Do you know what I do? Well, sometimes I do. It depends. If you're heavy-handed with wet glue, don't use it on photos. If you're not heavy-handed with glue, then you can. Although I've stuck my acetate cover on upside down. It doesn't matter, I don't think. Oh, it does matter because of my cats. Oh, bullcocks. Hang on. Right, well, we're going to have a very nicely embellished front cover when we come to do it. Flipping heck. That's the back of my book. That'll teach me. Let's just stick that on again. Oh, I can't be let out in public. Oh no, it's stuck. Okay, right, start again. So, yeah. So if I just stick that on the back, I think that will do just fine. So, I need to think of a way to decorate up the front now. I've wrecked it. Oh, look what a mess I've made. I can clean that off. And there's the little book all put together. So now all I've got to do is just add my embellishments and my photos, and I've got a really quick and easy little mini book just made from blank notelets. You can make it from cards, you can make it from whatever you like. Okay, there we go. Do you want a sneak peek of next week's? Yeah, I said that because I wasn't going to swear, Ellie. All right, do you want a sneak? You can have a little sneak peek because it's not finished. Now, I know I said that I was going to do that scrap lift of Kerry's scrapbook page. I'm going to do that on Saturday. So if you want a Saturday afternoon class, we'll have a chat then. But this isn't finished. But Wendy was talking about accordion books. So this is what we're going to do next Wednesday, is a little accordion book. It's not finished, but I've started to put some photos in it. I've got that far. Okay. So I need to add some more. Oh, everything's sticking together tonight. Okay, so I still need to add some more photos in it, but basically that's what we're going to make next week. It's dead easy. All right. So I'll get that finished and I'll get some photos taken. And then there's a little book for us for next week. So I hope that's okay with you. Right, there we go. I think that's it for tonight. I'll try and get this book finished. I'll put some pictures and some decorations in it, so you can see that. I will finish this book off and take some photos of that as well. And I'll let you know what time on Saturday afternoon we will do the scrap lift of Kerry's scrapbook page, and I'll see you all next Wednesday. Yeah. Remember, on the 20th we're going to start the big 12 by 12 book, so we've got that coming up. And if you are making the Bloom Street book with me, we will be in class in the Crafting Together with All Brands group at 7 p.m. UK time tomorrow evening, and I want to cover our book. I want to add in the hinges and hopefully get the base pages made. So that's the plan for tomorrow, but that'll just be an hour's class. So little and often with that one, I think. Brilliant. Guys, thank you so much for joining me. I will see you Saturday if you want. No, I'll see you tomorrow if you're joining me in the other group. And I'll get this finished and photos taken. Thanks a lot. Bye.